Okay, so today I'm going to be explaining how to solve by completing the square. First, it gives you the equation x squared plus 12x plus 20 equals 0. So what you're going to do is subtract 20 from both sides. And then your second equation is going to be x squared plus 12x equals negative 20. Okay, so for the second part about it is you're going to be filling in this blank space right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to do b divided by 2 squared. So it'll be 12 divided by 2 squared equals 36. So that blank spot's going to be 36. Add 36 to both sides. Your last equation is going to be x squared plus 12x plus 36 equals 16. Okay, so your last equation is going to be x plus 6 squared equals 16. You're going to take the square root of both sides. So it should come out to be x plus 6 equals plus or minus 4. Okay, so how you get this is you divide the b value by 2 and you pull down an x, so you should get parenthesis x plus 6 parenthesis, then you pull the square down and put it after the parentheses. To get your final answers, what you're going to do is subtract 6 from both sides. So you'll get two equations, x equals 6, negative 6 plus 4, and x equals negative 6 minus 4. So one answer will be x equals negative 2, and one answer will be x equals negative 10. Okay, so here's some examples of putting it in use. So it gives you the equation x squared minus 4x plus 67 equals 0. So what you're going to do is do the same thing you did last time, subtract the 67. So it'll be x squared minus 4x equals negative 67. You're going to take your b value, divide it by 2 and square it, so it comes out to be positive 4. So it'll be x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then you add the 4 to negative 67, you get negative 63. So then you you divide the b value by 2 and take the x down, so it'll be x minus 2 squared equals negative 63. Then you take the square root of both sides. So step 6, what you're going to do is you're going to simplify for negative 63. So you pull out the square root. First, you pull out the square root of negative 1, which equals an I, stands for imaginary number. And then you get the square root of 9 and the square root of 7. So the square root of negative 63 comes out to be plus or minus 3i for imaginary number and square root of 7. So the last equation is going to be x minus 2 equals negative 3i square root of 7. So it equals x equals positive 2 plus or minus 3i for imaginary number square root of 7. Okay, for the last example, it gives us 4a squared minus 2a minus 13 equals 0. So what you're going to do is you're going to divide all this by 4. And you're also going to add the 13 to the other side. So it would be 4 parentheses a squared minus 1 over 2a plus 16, because you took the b, divided it by 2, and it equals 1 over 16th. And then also you're going to add 1/4 to the 13. So then you get 4a minus 1 over 4 squared divided, or then you take the square root of that and also the square root of 53 over 4. And you divided both sides by 4. So you get a minus 1 over 4 equals the square root of 53 over the square root of 16, which that equals the square root of 53 over 4. So your final answer is going to be 1 plus or minus the square root of 53 over 4.